Hi, Dan.
Good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about living in downtown Tuscaloosa. We're going to stop by several historic neighborhoods and we are going to see what's so great about living in downtown Tuscaloosa. Today I have with me Tricia Stone. She's an agent at Carrie Fitz Real Estate and she actually lives in downtown Tuscaloosa in the Pinehurst subdivision. It's an older historic neighborhood. And Tricia, what is it that you like about living in downtown Tuscaloosa?
Well, Carrie, for one thing, you're seeing it. I get to ride around in a golf cart. Downtown Tuscaloosa has changed my life. I've been living in Tuscaloosa for 15 years, but just moved down here a little less than a year. And I can walk to places. I can walk to the farmer's market, as I did yesterday morning on a Saturday. I can walk to restaurants and bars downtown. Obviously, football games are very big, especially in the Pinehurst neighborhood. So, Carrie, this is my house. It was built in the 50s. It is a replica of a house in Connecticut that was built by 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤, the man who also invented the vodka martini. His house faced the Connecticut River. Mine faces Pinehurst Drive. But on game day, it's wonderful. We open up the French doors, we put a bar out on the terrace, and we greet everybody walking back and forth to the game.
What a unique house, and that's one of the things that I love about Pinehurst and these older neighborhoods. They are not cookie cutter. All the houses are different. They have their own charming personality.
So this is the Audubon neighborhood. It's another one of my favorite ones because, like you said earlier, all the architecture is different. It's very neighborly. We've got friends of mine walking their dogs down the sidewalk today. Very pedestrian. A lot of these houses are under guidelines where you cannot have more than 2 unrelated people. That's to kind of quell student housing coming in and taking over. They also have other restrictions about what you can do with your house. You have to go in front of the Historical Preservation Commission. If you want to make modifications on any materials or anything that has to do with the front of your house, you can paint your house any color.
Well, that's good to know because I'd hate for somebody to buy a property with the intention of using it in a way that wouldn't be allowed. Again, it's a good, important lesson to make sure that you have a realtor that knows what they're doing.
And I also need to add to that too, that the city has their own restrictions on short-term rentals. A lot of people buy these houses. It's not impossible to get a short-term rental in the historic neighborhood. A friend of mine did her house last year, but there are guidelines.
So I guess like most things, have a good realtor, do your due diligence.
Correct. So this is 𝐥𝐤𝐤 Place. It's absolutely one of my favorite neighborhoods. This tree-lined street, all these different houses. And at Christmas time, the historic neighborhoods get together and have a Christmas party. It's a chili party on a Sunday night. It's got bonfires, s'mores, hot chocolate. But the best part is Santa Claus comes. This past year he came in the golf cart and he comes to this house and he stands on that balcony and he delivers presents to all the children. He calls them out one by one, and it's nothing cuter than seeing a child have Santa Claus call their name out, and then he throws their gifts and they run and pick it up. I put it on my Instagram and it went viral with everybody just loving it. So this is 𝐥𝐤𝐤 Place and it's named after Alexander 𝐥𝐤𝐤's property that he owned. He owned all of this up to what is his home that he built, the lovely 𝐥𝐤𝐤 home, which is now home to Carrie Fitz Real Estate. And it is Alabama's best example of Greek Revival architecture, just a little FYI. I love the history. I love how all the history kind of comes together. You have all these names that repeat. You've got Alexander 𝐥𝐤𝐤 Place, and then James 𝐥𝐤𝐤 built the University Club, and then you've got all of these neighborhoods that are kind of intertwined. It really shows that Tuscaloosa has a very long history and got some really cool architecture.
It really does. It's just so charming, especially on such a pretty day, to just drive these streets and just really see the jewels that Tuscaloosa still enjoys.
So this is Lee Busby, and he is the city councilman for downtown Tuscaloosa. Lee, we were talking about with real estate, you have to make sure if you're buying in downtown Tuscaloosa that you are aware of all the zoning and the historic guidelines and the short-term rental guidelines. So Lee does a great job with the city making sure that we stay looking pristine in our historic area. But Lee, why do you want to live in downtown Tuscaloosa?
I've never known anything else. I moved here when I was 8, and I've lived in 5 different neighborhoods in the historic district through my childhood, adulthood, and into my silver years, and I don't know any other way to live.
What's your favorite thing about living downtown, other than having like me as a neighbor?
Being in the middle of it. It is, on a game day weekend, if I want to walk 6 blocks and be in the midst of it, I can. If I don't, I can stay inside, pull the curtains, turn the TV up.
On Saturdays, it's like just this wild party going on game day weekends, and then you hit a Sunday like this, even during football season, and it's like the city just kind of goes, it's so nice and peaceful, and you can ride your bike, and you can walk your dog, and just be like, wow, and there were thousands of people here just yesterday. So this part of Tuscaloosa, the river's right down there, and so you're sitting at the highest point really in the city when you're downtown. And so that was one of the things why people wanted to move downtown, was to build their houses up here so that they could get the breeze better than if they were down by the river. I thought that was a little interesting fact.
That's great.
But that river walk certainly is nice. It's a great thing to have. There's mornings when I'll take off and go down to the river walk and then up through campus. And it's just lovely.
My husband's family, he grew up in downtown Tuscaloosa. His father grew up in downtown Tuscaloosa, and his grandfather grew up in downtown Tuscaloosa. And they built these 2 houses, the 2 brothers built them next door to each other when they, before they got married and after they left their parents' house.
That's a sweet story, and that's one of the things I love about downtown Tuscaloosa is, yes, we have the university here, and we have all these people that are discovered Tuscaloosa because of the university and because of Alabama football. But Tuscaloosa is very welcoming. It's got a little story to tell, and it goes back hundreds of years, like a lot of these houses do. What I love about downtown is you can walk from Pinehurst down to restaurants or down towards the stadium. Well, Carrie, we're back.
That was a great trip, and I always love to end a pretty day in downtown Tuscaloosa with my favorite historic house, our office.
Carrie, that is a beautiful house, and it's such a treat for the city of Tuscaloosa that you have taken it on and are restoring it back to its glory. I love downtown. I think anybody that's looking for a lifestyle, whether it's recreation, entertainment, athletic events, cultural events, and then just very quiet Saturdays where you're just out on a golf cart or walking your dog and the azaleas are in bloom. It's just lovely.
It really is. Well, I appreciate it, and if you want to see some more videos, please check out our website, ahousethatfits.com. Until next time, have a great one.
Bye-bye.